Right, everybody, welcome back. Sam's Army Match Week 17. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to start in the Premier League, where we'll talk about Pep's clone, Morgan Rogers' magic, and some North London pressure being felt. We will hit halftime, where we got a pop quiz for you guys. Then we will hit round the world, where we got to touch on AFCON, the big African continental tournament that is kicked off, and Mikey is knee-deep in it, and you should be too. And then finally, stoppage time with Ivan Toney's best bets and everyone's favorite segment, GOAWs. Now, time to welcome in this week's panel of beauties. We will start with the one and only Tyler Terrence. It is time, now that we are heading into the new year, for the latest and greatest update on the best American soccer tween novel that has ever been possibly written, partially written. Where are we at right now?
We've got 180 pages, and before I dive into the final 75 and wrap this puppy up, I have made a deal with myself that I'm going back and editing the entire story and making sure that everything lines up, everything's copacetic, and we're as clean as possible heading into the final stages of the game, if you will. So that's currently where I am. I have edited about, I would say, 100 pages. So I've got another like 75 left until we can just, start to put a ball on it. But Tommy's about to go on his first real date with his love interest, Rachel Johnson. They're going to a Red Bulls FC Cincinnati game in Harrison, New Jersey. So buckle up, folks. And if you're looking for teen smut, it will not be found here, you sickos. Go somewhere else. I'm not Colleen Hoover.
PG. It's PG. PG only. We're not going to have no PG-13 even, right? No boobies?
No boobies.
All right. Mikey Fowler, what's your thoughts on destination weddings?
I used to love them. Then I realized that, mostly this whole bullshit is for grandparents anyways, so I make them have to travel. That's not the point of the whole thing. Just the thought of making your 90-plus-year-old grandmother get on a plane to like Italy or France, it makes me sad. So I'm out on them now.
Okay. All right. Thinking about the bigger picture. Thinking about other people. That's Mikey's middle name.
It's right cheaper though, I heard. That's nice.
Well, keep it in mind. All right, everybody, before we hit the Premier League, it's time for our weekly reminder. If you're not in the Sam's Army Discord, which you get in by getting in the Sam's Army Patreon, get in right now. It's the best little soccer sicko community in the world, dare I say. We're talking soccer 24/7, talking shop. Get in there. Not just soccer, everything, life, betting, whatever you want to talk about, we'll be talking about it. So get Sam's Army Patreon to get access to the Discord. Now, Premier League boys, some interesting results this week. Why don't we start with you, Mikey? We got Newcastle Chelsea draw. We got Villa beating United. Spurs getting their 9-men shit pushed in by Liverpool. We got Leeds walloping Palace, or one of the London games. But where do you want to start?
I want to start with Villa, the enigma that is Aston Villa. I can't quite figure out if we should take them seriously or if this is going to all stop at some point. It's unbelievable to have a team that started the season 5 matches in, I believe, with that level of production is now dominating people and playing at a really high quality. We saw it when Arsenal deservedly lost there. Like, they can play. So why wouldn't we consider them title challengers? And that's where my brain is starting to go. I don't know. That it was interesting to me. Now United at home is not a tough fixture for most teams these days, so I'm not really going to overreact. But it's starting to creep into my mind, and I hope people listening might be feeling the same way about them. They might be a little bit scary.
They're a complete team. They're not. I don't think they have the depth of an Arsenal or even a City. But
neither did Leicester.
They could. I mean, that was an incredible run that I think people kind of forget about, the fact that Leicester had basically 0 injuries the entire season. But Aston Villa is a hell of a team. Tyler, any thoughts on that game?
Morgan Rogers, man. I mean, like, his teammates and the crowd expect him to score every time he touches the ball inside of 25 yards. Like, when he tees it up and he's going for goal, like, his teammates already have their hands in the air. They've seen him do it in training a million times. What a crazy arc that this kid has had. Obviously, he had something when he was younger. Manchester City signed him when he was 15 or 16 years old. Tale as old as time. getting sent on loan to the likes of like Blackpool and Lincoln City, and how many of those players have we seen just never emerge from the bottom of league football? And here he is sort of like in a cameo role for Aston Villa for the first 18 to 24 months of his career, and now is going to probably start in the number 10 for Thomas Tuchel in game 1 of the World Cup if everything goes chalk at this point in time. So like just an unreal run for this kid, only 23 years old, and just electric right now. Absolutely electric. 10 wins in a row for Villa for the first time in 111 years in the history of Aston Villa, which is just insane to think about. But yeah, they're a lot of fun. I don't believe in them as a title contender, definitely top 4. But Unai Emery, it needs to be said, is he arguably one of the greatest coaches in Europe that we don't talk about. Villarreal semifinals in the Champions League, takes an Aston Villa team back to the Champions League for the first time in 40 years. Is going to probably have them qualify for Champions League again in a year where I think most of us probably pegged them as like a 8th through 13th or 14th type of team heading into this season. Who knows? Maybe Arsenal would have won a trophy by now if they had stuck with Unai Emery.
There was, and also he's, a Europa League maestro. I think one thing that, and maybe the only thing that is kind of the black mark on his record or his resume for people like us is his stint with Arsenal that didn't go so great. And I do think that kind of just hangs over him, whereas everything else he's done has been, pretty incredible. So fair shout. It's funny you say that Morgan Rogers could be the starting 10 for England at the World Cup, which is absolutely true. It could, but like the fact that he is even in the running with like a Bellingham is wild. And shows what he's been doing.
Or Cole Palmer, for that matter.
Or Cole Palmer, right? Like they're so stacked. Any thoughts, Mikey, on United?
Gonna struggle without Bruno, mightily. Embuemo and Bruno just removed from. We're going to learn a lot about Šeško, and we're going to see if Diallo is really going to be like Diallo could take a step with the time if he plays in that 10 role instead of playing wing back where they have him stashed. There could be a shot there. Pivotal moments for them, and it still seems like they're going to the same names, like Ugarte's in situations where they need to, and it's like as much as things change for them, they're in a serious selection crisis without Bruno in that team. So pivotal moments for them. This could be a really nasty 2 months or 1 month or whatever it is. I'd be hitting the panic button slightly with the way the roster looks right now.
100% great shout on Bruno. Diallo, I think, is out with Ivory Coast at AFCON.
Oh, wow. I was just thinking Embuemo was removed. Damn.
No,
I wish we were alive. We could scratch that.
Ivory Coast and Mozambique, I think, coming up soon.
Tomorrow. Yes. I saw in the Discord, the guys were just absolutely shitting on Ugarte that whole game.
He stinks. He doesn't look good. He's young. Yeah.
He's in a tough spot.
The nicest thing you can say is he's still young. He's
not playing well. I think they've lost like the last 7 or maybe even more than that starts that he's made. It's just not working for him. United's in a tough spot, period. What do they sit? They're actually in 7th place. When you look at the table right now, that whole logjam of teams from like 22 to 29 points, or I mean, I guess 22 is a little generous, but like there is a logjam there of 10 teams. That one win.
Let's just shout out how bad everybody is. That Liverpool, after the season they've had, are like pretty clearly back in serious top 4 contention. They should be 6 losses at this point. Shame on the rest of you.
They're even with Chelsea on 29 points.
Losses. City had 4 losses in the first 10 games of the season. Now rattled off 7 wins in a row in all competitions. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, teams are hitting their form right now, and especially I think 2 very transitional clubs in Liverpool and Manchester City, more so of the former. But yeah, Pep seems to be enjoying his football now that he is basically going to know that he's retiring at the end of the season. So I
can't. These stories come out all the time, man.
This one seems real though.
Ornstein only really. If it was just Fabrizio, I wouldn't even be having this conversation. But the fact that it's Ornstein means that I somewhat believe it's going to happen.
And do you think it's going to be Maresca?
Yeah, or Arteta.
What do we think happened after the Everton in that 48 hours after the Everton game? Why was that the worst 48 hours of his life? Do you think it was revolving around the Manchester City situation?
guess. I don't know what else it could be, to be honest. I don't know.
That he's insane.
Well, look, he's a guy who. Do you think that there would be as much hype for Maresca as, like, the next city manager if he didn't dress, talk, walk, basically be Pep's clone? Do you think he would actually be the, odds-on favorite to be the city manager if he wasn't like walking like a duck, talking like a duck, cutting his beard like a duck? Like, this motherfucker is quacking. He wants to be Pep. And I think it's working. It's working for him. I got to give him some credit there. I don't know.
He was in the system for a while. It's not like he's just some Pep wannabe. Like, he was around Pep and within the Manchester City organization for a long time. And I think that they want to bring somebody in who does it the city way, whatever the fuck that means. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I can't help but just laugh at all of his press conferences and just sort of be like, what is wrong with you? And like, the reporters have been spot on, because like, it's basically one big group therapy session, because like one reporter will ask like, well, are you happy because of like what he said after the Everton game? And then he'll be like, yes, I'm very happy. And then like another reporter will be like, are you sure? Because like, it sort of seems like you're being held hostage and somebody behind you with an invisibility cloak on has a gun at your head. So like, are you actually happy? None of us actually know.
You know what, Sam? To give you credit, I hadn't even really considered that Maresca was doing the Pep. I hadn't even considered it. So you put that in my brain now.
You'll never not think of it next time, that he's talked about as a city manager. He's doing it well, though. Give him some credit. He's pulling it off. I had a non sequitur that I just completely forgot.
What? Thomas Frank out? Was that the non sequitur?
Oh yeah, let's go there. Let's talk about them. Let's talk about them. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Oh boy, Sam,
are you like, you're notoriously manager in at all costs, even in a weird like yes sir way. It's creepy. You need to start having standards.
Until they're out. Until like he was Ange in until he got fired. He was like, well, this makes sense. Like, they didn't really have any other choice.
Right. Take a stand for once and tell me that you want Thomas Frank out of your club. Do it right now.
For the record, I was Ange in until he won us a trophy, and then I realized that that's all we could get from him, and then I was Ange out. For Thomas Frank, I am still Frank in. I'm not pulling the ripcord. I'm not doing it. It's too early.
For the record, I am too. For the record, I am too.
Listen, the Discord, I know some of the guys in the Discord are all about he's got to go. He's got to go. I do think it's a little too early for that. Like, he's been there for, 5 months? We have half a season under his belt. I mean, he's proven he can be a good manager, just not with us yet. It's too early, though. I mean, he's had like one transfer window. It's too freaking early. Like, I know we're in 14th place. I know that sounds awful. I know not only are we in 14th place with a goal differential of 3, but I think that we are leading the league in overproducing relative to our XG, which that's not a good thing. So there's a lot of things that there are a lot of strikes here, but it's too early. I think he's a good manager. I think that pulling the ripcord and just, trying, God knows where we go next. I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for that stuff. I need to give him more time. I'm Thomas Frank in. Tyler, would you disagree?
I think that if Daniel Levy was still in charge, Thomas Frank would have been fired 3 times over, number one. Number 2 is, I think that he's not the right coach for this team. Like, I don't think that Thomas Frank is a bad coach, and I don't think that this team is a bad team. I just don't think that they need Thomas Frank as their coach right now. You guys have lost. You guys have lost 11 games at home in the calendar year. You've lost 5 games at home in the Premier League already. Like, I would hate to be a Tottenham season ticket holder and just waltz into basically just your impending death every single weekend like a Jets fan. Like, it's fucking miserable existence.
You know what that's all about. I mean, in the bigger picture, obviously 5 losses at home is insane at Christmas. If we're just going to talk about this Liverpool game quickly, like, it's impossible to judge the team. It's impossible to damn Thomas Frank. If I'm going to damn anybody, it's going to be Xavi Simons, because what the fuck are you doing, my friend? Like, that was one of the stupidest challenges.
Tommy doesn't think it's a red card, though.
listen, Tommy's a very smart guy. He says some very dumb things every now and again, and that's one of them. Like, that was the stupidest challenge it was so unnecessary. It was so dumb. It was so obviously blatantly a red card. It was just like, what are you doing? And so this is a guy who Simone's he's had a tough start to his career with Tottenham. He's had a couple flashes in the pan, a couple good games or better games, and I kind of felt like, okay, well, maybe we're turning it around a little bit here. We're getting a little comfortable. And in this moment, in this game, while the team is playing the way we're playing, when Thomas Frank's ass is in the jackpot, that was so stupid. The timing of it was so bad that, like, this is one of those things that it might kind of cloud his career with Tottenham. It's that bad. I know it's just one play and but like, I will remember this red card forever.
Xavi Simons should have been thinking, oh my God, my manager's in trouble. I definitely should not go into this challenge and rake the Achilles of my international captain. You're right. He should have been thinking that when he was doing it. By the way, clean goal for Ekatike's, right? Definitely no foul on Cristiano Romero.
Oof. Yeah, listen here. I'll say
agree.
this.
Yes, I do say that wasn't a foul.
There's been many goals given against Arsenal, not to bring them into everything, but like think about the Joe Linton goal where it was almost out of bounds. Like this is allowed in the league. They've made a precedent about that. I think it's good that it stood.
I'm okay with that goal standing. I think that there's touching in soccer. Like, there's some physical contact. It didn't look blatant. There's some touching. There's some contact.
It didn't look like card, by the way. There's touching in soccer, Sam.
Yeah.
Can someone make it, please?
Who was it? Jackson Dart, who said that they're not playing soccer and that's why he wants to keep getting concussed? See how that's working out.
I love that line. But listen, it wasn't like a blatant two-hand shove, like, straight out like that. It looked fair to me. So I was fine with that goal. I do love that Richarlison scores nothing but completely useless goals. That meme and narrative is kind of funny. And how much he was hated for everything he did in that game, including, I think it was at Ekatike when he kind of, like, I don't know, kind of teabagged him a little bit after the goal. But to the game itself, like, Liverpool were the better team, but it's hard to really judge that based on, we had 10 players for most of the game, 9 players for some of it. And we looked better when we had 9 players. That's kind of unfortunate and sad. Yeah, we suck, but I'm not Thomas Frank out. We got to stick with this. We got guys coming back: Solanke, Madison, eventually. Kulusevski. I've been hearing he's going to be back like next week for a month now.
When's the last time he played a game?
I don't know. August. Same thing with Solanke. Like, they've been gone forever, and I do think that having a 9 in Solanke would change things. So I have to have something to hang my hat on. Right now, it's let's get a 9. Because, we don't have a 9. Richarlison is not that guy. If we get Solanke back, hopefully that changes things. And it's all uphill from here, from 14th place. All right, well, back to you, though, Mikey. You mentioned Aston Villa perhaps being in the title race. I mean, City at this point is definitely in the title race. What'd you think about this weekend? The close win over Everton and City looking dominant against West Ham.
It's West Ham, first of all. Not worried about it. Great. Congrats to all the triple captain Holland people. That was coming a mile away. In all honesty, they are the narrative around the whole Pep, stepping away thing, and the fact Ornstein talked about it and reposted it. I do believe they're trying to galvanize some momentum towards being the pieces of crap that ruin Arsenal's day every single day. But no, they're really gonna come. I don't know when the next time they're gonna lose a match is. The City does this thing. It's just whether or not they can do it for the next 26, or if they use their end of season magical run a little early. Maybe use the Nas a little too soon and run out at the end of the race. Fast and the Furious 1 reference. Everybody sees this coming. Yeah, City's going to keep citying. Arsenal, I expect to be behind at some certain points in this race. Very much a 2-horse race.
Any other results from the weekend? Leeds.
Leeds.
Yeah,
Leeds.
I knew you wanted to get some thoughts in there.
For the first 6 weeks of the Dominic Calvert-Lewin era at Ellen Road, there was criticism about his lack of performance, but there was that XG generating that, good strikers do this. Aubameyang, people used to always say, like, he misses a ton of chances, but it's a skill to get him. Calvert-Lewin no matter who the opposition is, no matter who the opponent was, is always going to generate chances. And they are coming good. Free signing in the summer, leading the line, scored twice this past weekend. I think that's 5 Premier League matches in a row. There's a serious thing going on with him that looks to he could be the signing of the season right now, if you think about it. Like in the Premier League, if he keeps Leeds alive and he continues to score at this rate, if he ends up with 15 league goals and Leeds survive, that's the signing of the season. He's well on pace to do that.
He's definitely on pace to be better than
Granit
Alexander Isak.
Xhaka is not the signing of the season.
They're going down. No, I don't know.
They're going down.
No. I'm just saying there's a real chance if Calvert-Lewin keeps his form up, we could be talking about him in that way. They're 6 points safe now. After a week where they went, City, Liverpool, Chelsea, took 4 points off that. Like, very, very happy with where they are right now.
Yeah, for sure. We were talking a month or two ago. It was like this team is like solid, but they can't score. So if they're going to get a guy like Calvert-Lewin to step up and score, like they could be safe. We shall see.
Totally. Anton Stack's unbelievable. Team's really good.
There you go. Not good. Wolves. Holy shit.
Really bad.
We could they're just, I don't even know if they'd stay up in the championship this season. And speaking really bad, that Fulham Forest game, holy shit, I want that 90 minutes back. That was a tough watch. All right. FPL. I had a huge week in FPL. Not that it really matters because I stink, but I had 93 points. Please clap, Mikey. Please clap.
That's great. No, I'm happy for you.
Yeah, it got me out of the basement of our Council of Elders team. You are still obviously in first by, holy shit, by 150 points. No big deal. Followed by Tommy. Mitch is up on 1 point on me. And then Tyler at the moment bringing up the rear. The Discord Sicko League, you, of course, are in number one. Where are you actually in the Premier League or whatever leagues you're actually caring about?
700 US, third in our podcast league, where I did some deep web research on the leader of the podcast league. And this man's in a bunch of leagues called like top 1% of last year, top 5% of last year. So this is a baller. I'm chasing the demon up there. Really worried about my ability to make up some ground here. But they say if you have a really high star to aim for, then you're going to end up somewhere, positive at the end of it. So I'm going to just keep chasing this motherfucker.
Thomas Senef?
Yeah, he's a monster.
Yeah, Sheik's Servants. Yeah, he's up by 31 points right now in this podcast.
I know. I'm really, everybody at the top of that league is really impressive. Congrats to you. I don't give you a lot of credit, but for some reason, despite all the odds, you've accumulated a follower count of very good FPL players. Really, really high level FPL being played in your podcast league.
Some big brains. So let's give him a shout out. Thomas Senef, as we said, number one. Ryan Nowland in second. You are in third. James Bean in fourth, and Al Adkins in fifth. And everybody, I mean, like the fact that the top probably 50 are all ridiculously high. In the Sicko League, you're number one. Dalton following you. Matthew Perry third. Dave K fourth. Tim Marks in fifth. Now, weekend to come. This is kind of a weird week. We got like a game. Is it today? Palace and Arsenal. I think they play in an hour or two. That's FA Cup, right? Or is that
no? It's the trinket.
Yeah, fake cup, a Mickey Mouse Cup. And then we have like one game on Boxing Day, which is all sorts of weird and just feels
bullshit, woke nonsense.
Woke nonsense, as Sean Dyche / Mikey Fowler would say. There are some good games though coming up this week. United Newcastle is the one and only game on Boxing Day on Friday. On Saturday we got Chelsea Villa, Arsenal Brighton. There's some other ones. So I'll go to you first, Tyler. Which is the game you will be keying in on this weekend?
I apologize. I was trying to set my fantasy lineup because I just constantly forget to do it. So this is a solid reminder, considering I don't really want to have to do another TikTok dance, despite the fact that it was my most popular TikTok video that I've ever put out of the
You did it. It was a good TikTok dance. I was impressed.
No, I fucking slayed it, obviously, but I just don't want to have to do it again. It's not my forte. I would have to say that I think this Chelsea Villa game obviously is sort of is where I'm at, because Chelsea are in this very bizarre place where like they just can't really put together a 90-minute performance. And I feel like doing that against Villa typically spells danger, right? Because what they've been this season is not all that consistent. They keep the ball. They know that they're not particularly deep. They try to sort of like rest within game because they know that they can't rotate. But I just kind of think that like Villa should be favored in this game. I don't know what the line is, but this is a big test for Chelsea, even with some of the injuries and some of the things that they have going on right now. This is a huge game and sort of will maybe even be a determinant as to who finishes in the top four when it's all said and done. But
yeah, I mean that's fair. I mean they are 3-4 in the table right now, although Aston Villa is 7 points ahead of Chelsea. Mikey, any thoughts on that game or another one that you want to point out?
Sunderland Leeds is kind of a fun one. Just from a neutral perspective, I think that's a fun watch. That's the early morning Sunday. I really like that one. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna say that there's a real chance that going away. It sounds incredibly weird, but City going to a Sean Dyche. I feel like if anybody's going to frustrate a City team, it's a Sean Dyche team. Just the narratives in my head seem right that they might be able to hang and keep that one close and really frustrate City's team. So um, I will have my eye on that as a chance for possible points pickup. That's truthfully, they're going to come in weird spots, and if Sean Dyche can take any points off this Pep monster, that would be awesome.
Just circling back to what you were talking about, Tyler, in the Chelsea Villa game, which is the one I have circled as well. Aston Villa is plus 310 money line. Plus 310. That's crazy. What do they know? That feels like a rat line. Holy shit. Okay, good shout. I thought for a second you might be saying that Brighton was going to give Arsenal problems this weekend. And I think you would have said that in a reverse jinx sort of fashion. So I'm glad that you didn't do that, especially at Arsenal. I think you guys will figure that out. Yeah, those are the games of the weekend. Check them out. We'll move on. We're done with the Premier League. Bing, bang, boom. No top or what was it? Power rankings because Tyler would wring my neck through the internet. So we'll go
Power
to
rankings
halftime.
are the table. Power rankings are the table at this point.
Yeah. I mean, that's actually hard to argue with unless you want to throw, I don't know, like a Sunderland. No, I actually agree with you. Arsenal, City, Villa, Chelsea. All right, there. Bing, bang, boom. Pop quiz for halftime. We're not doing a weekly OF. We're doing a pop quiz. Mikey, keep your hands where I can see them so I know you're not Googling. Same thing with you, Tyler. Pop quiz. Top 3 odds to win AFCON right now in order.
Nigeria has to be in there.
Egypt, Nigeria, Senegal, or Senegal, Senegal, Nigeria, Egypt.
It won't be Egypt. It'll be Morocco.
Oh, that's right.
And Sam smiled, so let's go with Egypt because that means I overcorrected. So let's go with Egypt. In order, I'd go Nigeria, Egypt, and then Senegal.
So you're keeping Morocco out after all that?
Yes.
Okay. You did catch me smiling on Morocco, but that's because Morocco is the top. They're the top favorite. They are number one.
That's wrong.
I mean, it's their.
No, I know,
backyard.
but they're not gonna win this.
All right, so Morocco's the favorite, followed by Egypt, and then Senegal at the moment. Then Algeria, which you guys didn't mention, in Nigeria. So, speaking of AFCON, this is a tournament that everybody should be paying attention to. If you look at the FOTMOB and the schedule right now, there's just not a lot going on. AFCON is going to carry us for most of this week and most of the next month. So AFCON is always crazy. Like, there is always crazy storylines. There's crazy challenges. There's crazy goals. There's crazy celebrations. Datsun, what's his name?
Patson Daka.
Yeah, just about became paraplegic trying to do a backflip the other day. Listen, I know of the people on this pod and probably even listening to this pod, Mikey is maybe the foremost expert on this tournament because he's knee deep in betting on individual players. So, Mikey, what are some either storylines or teams or players that people need to keep in mind, and why should they be watching this tournament?
Well, you mentioned the big favorites. The end of this tournament is a blast when the two teams get together at the highest level in the semis and the final of this tournament. So the early stages, what you're really having fun with is the fact that due to the nature of these games and how kind of new to like they're not really familiar as teammates and the systems aren't really great. So these teams that are based on a lot of local players like Tanzania's and Mozambique's can hang with people at the highest level. So it gets to be a lot of fun when you see like Egypt struggling to break through late. Like that's fun. It's kind of like why we like the early FA Cup and Carling Cup stages and stuff like that. So Carabao Cup, whatever. I don't know what I call it. But yeah, AFCON's great. I suggest everyone starts watching. And if you don't start now, wait till the knockout play and it becomes really fun.
Fair enough. I mean, it's on at great times. Like, for the next week or two during the group stage, like the games start at, about 6:30 maybe, and they go until basically 2 or maybe even 4 in the afternoon. It's just a great all day if you want, especially during the holidays when we're all kind of mailing in our work anyway. This is a perfect little distraction. Throw it on the TV, watch some AFCON. Anything to add there, Tyler? Are we good to go?
Good to go.
Good to go. All right. Stoppage time. So, well, for what, the 5th week in a row at this point, it's just mea culpa. I'm stupid.
You just suck.
I'm bad. I'm very bad. I want to make sure that the people can see that it's not pointy. This is not a pointy white hat. I can't get down there. It's not a pointy white hat as Mitch was intimating last week. It's not pointy. It's just a dumb dunce hat, and I have to wear it because the overtrain is just been craptastic lately. I think it's like 4 weeks in a row that we've been under 500. The last 2 weeks, I think I've been like one win out of 5. I mean, last week obviously it's gotten so bad that the game I picked on Friday just magically disappeared from the schedule. It just at the last second it just gone. That was Soccer God telling me, you know what, maybe you shouldn't be doing this anymore. And I should have listened. Unfortunately, I gave the Discord a replacement overtrain pick, and that, of course, lost as well. So, yeah, it's just awful. It's awful. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to pick ourselves up. We're going to dust ourselves off, and we are going to get right back on that train. I know that this week is tough. We don't have a lot of games. If you look at the slates on Wednesday and Thursday, holy moly, we are really digging deep. But you know what? That's when the overtrain comes up big. It's when you least expect it. So here we go. 5-a-side, Wednesday through Sunday. These games are all going over. Feel really good. I'm not lying about that. Just trust me. Wednesday, Algeria and Sudan in AFCON. Thursday, we're going to the Saudi Pro League, Al Riyadh and Al Ettifaq. Yeah, Al Ettifaq. Friday, we're going to the Belgian League. It's been a while since I've been back to the Belgian League. The goals have been kind of dried up over there, but we're going to go back. We're going to give it a shot. And that's with a K. Genk is hosting Bruges. Saturday, we're going to the Premier League. We're Chelsea and Villa. That's got to be fun. It just has to be. And finally, we are going down under on Sunday. The A-League itself is still on my probation list because they just stopped scoring goals all of a sudden, and I have no explanation for that, and I need an investigation. But the A-League women are still scoring, so we're going to go to Sydney hosting Brisbane on Sunday. There we go. Overtrade, 5-a-side, Wednesday through Sunday. Let's get rich. Now, Tyler, what do you got on Ivan Toney's best bet?
Aston Villa to win, Morgan Rogers to score.
That's already big.
And let's see what else we got here. Go to Mikey, and then I'll cook up the final leg of that parlay.
I got mine ready to go, and it's AFCON, and it's tomorrow morning. So enjoy. This is extra Christmas money. Jan Diomande is one of the most exciting players in, honestly, world football right now. He plays he plays in the Bundesliga, plays for Leipzig. He is going away with the Ivory Coast. They're playing Mozambique. They're going to dominate the ball and dominate the shots. He is a selfish player who goes right at goal and is so much fun. You'll see him with Madrid or somebody someday pretty soon. No joke. Dead serious. 2 shots on target plus 195, full unit. 3 shots on target plus 700, 4 shots on target 2200. I'm playing a unit on the first 2 and then a half on the second. So big bet on Diomande tomorrow.
There you go. Now back to you, Tyler. If you had Aston Villa to win and Morgan Rogers to score, just those two, you're already at plus 800.
I know. And then I tagged on Ugo Ekitike to score against Wolves. And so now it's plus 1,200. So there you go.
Easy money. Plus 1,200. No big deal. All right. Let's finish strong here with Mikey's favorite segment, GOAWs. Mikey, since you love this segment so much, and the name especially, you want to lead us off?
I certainly don't, but I will. I think I mentioned the two coaches who got in a fist fight the other day as my Goa. So I'm pulling it up now. Because I just pulled it up and it was that. Hold on.
The
This
lower league, England.
Yeah, I need to be able to find something and I'm looking for it. Sorry about that. Tyler, if you have a Goa, let's go with that.
Yep, I've got a couple. I'll keep them quick. Pep Guardiola for saying that he's going to be weighing his players because he feels like after Christmas they come in a little bit too
Yeah.
heavy. Sean Dyche for having a proper go and making fun of Pep Guardiola for wanting to weigh his players after coming in from Christmas. So love to see Dyche jovial and in a joking mood this time of year, especially when they might get relegated. Third Goa is Richie Larea for being voted the best trash talker in Major League Soccer by the players in the MLSPA superlatives voting. And then also Inter Miami not being deemed by the Players Association in this very same vote as one of the top 3 most desirable destinations to play in all of MLS, which I think is a major shot to what's going on over there. I believe it was San Diego, LAFC, and Nashville that were the top 3. Inter Miami was not on that list. Luis Suarez, for all of his biting and all of his garbage, he was actually 3rd in the voting behind Richie Larea and Matt Miazga for best trash talker, most likely to get in your head. So have that, Suarez. You're a bench player, and you're not even the best at getting in the head of MLS players.
Oh,
there you go.
There's some vitriol being spit right there, I will say.
Well, I have some disdain for Major League Soccer as a whole at the moment, so forgive me.
I know at some point we might get into that, but not right now. Mikey, are you ready to go, or you want me to?
Yeah, no, I'm good. It's Rasmus Højlund and Scott McTominay winning the Supercopa, the native Al Riyadh Supercopa with Napoli, and the quote from Rasmus after the game saying, "This is what a great decision looks like." Just have to give a general shout out to guys that leave Manchester United and dominate. Rashford could fall in that boat as well, but yeah, coming out so publicly against a club that still owns you is a little bit of a flex on him. So happy for him. That's a big time win.
That's a fair shout. I mean, it comes in the same week where McTominay did that interview with Kate Scott, where he was kind of over the top in his defense of Man United. So it's interesting. Listen, I actually like the interview that McTominay did. It came across well. He came across well. He seems like a cool dude. You cannot deny, though, the number of players that have left Manchester United and just sort of become the player that Manchester United thought they were getting when they bought them. McTominay doesn't exactly fit that because he started there. But the number of players that have blossomed after leaving is crazy. All right, my Goa, shout out to Jonathan, who talked about this earlier, is Liverpool and their obsession with pulling their pants down and showing the public their nether regions. First, there was Trent Alexander-Arnold, who pulled his pants down on a corner and really showed half his ass crack. I think that was in the Champions League. And then there was Ekitike scoring against Tottenham and pulling his pants, pulling his pants down to his knees almost, and doing kind of like the Mbappe celebration. The Mbappe celebration is fine. I don't quite understand the need to pull your pants down so far. But shout out to them. That's the honorable mention for Goas. My actual Goa is going to the PSG Twitter admin. So 2 days after Mbappe won a legal case in which PSG was ruled that they have to pay him 60 million plus euros that they owe him from the contract that he left to go to Real Madrid. The court said you got to pay this guy 60 plus something million, and 2 days later, in a move that you really probably don't need to do, especially 2 days after that, the PSG admin wished Mbappe a happy birthday from the official PSG, from the official PSG account, which I don't know if that was like a mistake or it was part of the agreement that the legal decision. I don't know, but that just seemed a little weird. I did love it, but whatever. Shout out to PSG admin for that. All right, boys and girls, we kept it really tight. 41 minutes this week. Tyler going home happy.
Couple professionals on this one. Me and
A
Tyler.
couple professionals,
No Mitch.
yes.
Mitch
Shout
is the
out to Tyler
troublemaker.
and Mikey.
If we know anything about this dynamic, it's that Mitch is the one that's the troublemaker.
That's right. Or Tommy. We don't know. Well, I don't want to cast. It's not me, obviously. Definitely not me. I'm not the one that makes this go too long. But shout out to Mikey and Tyler. You guys are the best. Tommy and Mitch, come back next week. Come back soon. Everybody in the Discord chat, and if you're on the chat for the live chat for the stream right now, you guys are the best. We love you deeply. And if you're not, get in there by getting in the Sam's Army Patreon. We will see you guys after Christmas, I think before the new year. I guess we'll see. I hope I'm not missing an opportunity to say Happy New Year to everybody. But you guys are the best. We love you. See you next week. Bigger, better, maybe faster, stronger.